Hi guys, Dave Anderson, Helicool's Helipad. And ever since I've done that small beacon tower project, I have always been chomping at the bit to get a full-size version done. Stay tuned, we'll be right back to build that beacon tower project, or deer stand, whatever you would like to call it. Now I'm going to show how to get rid of all these knots and all this bark, but that's going to take a while, so we're going to be in time lapse for a bit. Hey, did somebody say this was gonna be easy? If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. And you wouldn't be watching it here on YouTube. But thank God that you are. I'm doing the work for you. You just sit back and enjoy.
Well, now that I have all of my poles cut, by the way, these aren't them. These are for my monkey bridge and lookout tower. Now it's time to get the ropes down from the rafters. All of these ropes I have handmade. I'll put a video link at the end of this video, and I made these with lawnmower parts. Crazy, I know, but it's possible.
All right, so when you're whipping the end of a rope, you start by making a loop. And this is just really fine string. It's in the 550 cordage family, but obviously it's not 550. You leave a piece hanging out, and you have the other piece that's long, okay? And then what you do is you start wrapping around, keeping that one piece out, wrapping around tightly. Okay, until you're right there to the end. And you take that end and you put it through the loop. Okay? And then you take the other end of the string and you pull it. So I pull and the loop collapses down, grabs a hold of that piece that's hanging out there, and you can pull it right down underneath. So now it is held in this position down here, and then you can just cut this piece off. And that is a quick way to whip the end of a rope. All right, so this is how you start. 16-footer are laying out there. You have the 12-footer as the base, and I just have a little scrap underneath so that I can put the rope underneath the 16-footer a lot easier. Same on this side, and I'm going to tie a Japanese square lashing. All right, now I know you may not know how to do a Japanese square lashing, so this is how. You get a rope and you marry up the ends. And what I do, where the loop is at the other end, I just put that on the back timber, which happens to be the 16-footer. I loop that over the 12-footer, which is here, okay? And you just cross in back. Okay, the ropes are still lined up. And what you're going to begin to notice is there will be no ropes crossing here and no ropes crossing here. So once I get it over, it's just around the 16-footer again. Okay, then just wrap it over, and you'll already notice that there's 3 wraps already. That's what you want. That's the number, 3 wraps. So now you want to do your fraps. So all you do here, once you got your 3, is just cross over the ropes, and then you can pull them under, and now you're going to be doing your fraps. Okay? So all I did was cross over here, come around, and now your fraps have to be really tight. This is where the security of that pole biting against the other pole is crucial. So I have done 2 times around, which makes how many ropes? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that I'm up on this end and I have enough fraps, I'm going to tie a square knot, and that's simply right over left, then left over right. Once I'm done with that, I am done with the lashing. All right, now this is important. You can see that it does taper, or it will taper at the top. The tower will taper, and that is why these are not perfectly aligned. But as you can see by these 10-foot poles, you have to alternate them. These are on top, second set is on bottom, third set is on top, and when I go to put this up, the other set will be on the bottom. In order to stabilize the unit, I've put up a couple of ropes, and it's basically to prevent this base from rim racking until I can get the other diagonal pole that you see running from this corner all the way down to just below where the tread corner will be. Opposite corner. All right, I'm using some taut lines to put a little tension on it. And what that's allowed me to do is take the rim rack out of it. So now it is standing up pretty darn straight. And the base should be just a little bit curved, which it looks like I'm gonna have to do a little fixing with that one too, because it's looking a little bit rim racked as well. Okay, so I spent a couple of hours trying to figure out what the heck I did wrong with this. I put all kinds of rope on there, seeing about if I could get it to come back into alignment. And finally, I'm just figuring there is just no way it is perfectly aligned. There's got to be some other kind of issue. Well, I found the issue. And don't do what I did. That's a 14-foot pole right there instead of a 16. No matter how much tweaking that you do with the frame, you will never get that pole to line up when it's a 14-foot pole at the top, making it way too short. Aggravating. So in the interest of time, I'm going to use a little bit of camera magic and replace that with a 16-foot pole. Ready? Okay. 2 bits, 4 bits. You know what really sucks? Getting the pole wrong. It drives me nuts. Yay! Okay, let's take a look at this again. With the correct pole on there, everything pretty well lines up. Boy, it was really something changing a pole that far up that already had a diagonal lashing lashed to it. Speaking of diagonal lashing, let's get busy and tie that diagonal lashing. I'll show you how. All right, a diagonal lashing starts off with a timber hitch. Tie a timber hitch. You just make a loop around, and then you tie, or you go around this lead rope at least 4 times. Okay, there's your timber hitch. And then you keep going around this 3 times. All right, now that I've got it around 3 times, you can see that there's an X here, okay? Now I've already used this side of the X, this side of the X, so I need to use this side and this side. So when I wrap this around, I'm gonna come around 3 times. 3 times and around the other side of the X, just like this, 3 times around. All right, now that I have 3 times around here, 3 times around here, now these are the wraps. Now I need to start the fraps. So in order to do that, I'm going to finish off this. And the fraps go around here to tighten up both of these crisscross wraps here. And I'm going to go around that 3 times as well. Now that I have the wraps, and of course wraps are the fraps are very, very tight. And to finish this up, I'm going to tie a clove hitch. And what I like to do is, I know that the clove hitch actually goes under one of these ropes, but what I like to do is try to put it under both of them so that both the ropes have tension and holding this down. I know you can just go right up through there, but I like to go up through the center. All right, that one is done, and that is a diagonal lashing. All right, I know what you're asking. Why is such an elaborate setup? Is it really this difficult? Well, no, it really isn't. Yeah, it's more difficult because I'm using some pretty long logs, and you can make a smaller tower. But I don't have 15 or a dozen or even half a dozen to help me with this. So I'm trying to do it with as minimum amount of manpower as I possibly can. And you'll note in the background here, I have 2 ropes that are leading to my F350 over there, and it has a winch on it. So we're going to pick up this end, lift it up in the air, and I'm going to winch it the rest of the way. And hopefully, keeping fingers crossed, everything will work out just fine. Again, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I don't have the manpower that you'd normally have in a troop or a crew. So stay tuned. All right, now this is also a testament to the strength of the ropes that I've made. We're going to pick it up, and we're going to try to winch it the rest of the way, and then help it down with just the 3 of us. All right? Up there. Hey guys, so this is the lessons learned. This tower is about as big as you could possibly go with just the use of human hands. Any bigger than this and it's just going to be too top heavy and you're not going to be able to get it up. So with this large size, I give it an 8.5 to 9 difficulty level just because of the size of it. The lashings and knots, that's maybe a 3 or a 4 in the difficulty level. So if I had to do it all over again, this is what I would recommend. Because you can't get scouts up onto the top of this tower to have a deck on it, I wouldn't put a deck on it. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to chop this one off at probably about the 10 or 12 foot mark, and just use it as a hammock station, or at the top rail up here you can hang tarps by it, and you can have 4 tarps coming off of each side, and it will be an extremely effective shelter and a very cool centerpiece in your campsite. If you've got a great way of doing it that maybe is better than this, if you've done it before that said, hey man, you're doing it the hard way, let me just tell you about the easy way, then please go ahead and leave a comment. If you like the video, please click on the like button, and as always, subscribe, and tell your friends to subscribe, because we're trying to grow this channel and we can't do it without your support. Until next time, folks, I appreciate you watching. I'm Dave Anderson, and I'm signing out. Be safe, and God bless.